Hey guys, tonight we're exploring megalithic constructions in this world that defy all explanation. Ancient structures whose colossal stones, intricate precision, and astronomical alignments suggest a level of engineering far beyond what primitive tools could achieve, challenging everything we think we know about our past. These aren't just myths or legends. These are real, documented mysteries that modern engineers and historians still struggle to understand. How were they built? Who made them? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, what else did these ancient builders truly know that we have long forgotten? From colossal stone blocks no modern crane could lift to temples aligned with stars thousands of years in the future, we will journey through the impossible. So, before unraveling the secrets of 50 such marvels, take a moment to like the video and subscribe if you enjoy our content, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is. It's always a joy to see how many people from around the world are ready for this journey. Now, dim the lights, close your eyes, feel your body deeply relax, leaving the tiring day behind, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Our journey begins not with a single site, but a global enigma, the recurring patterns of impossible engineering across the earth. But as impressive as individual ruins are, they hint at something far grander and far more unified. The real mystery lies in the mathematical precision and astronomical alignment of these megaliths. Their construction reveals a deep understanding of physics, geometry, and the cosmos, which raises the question, could this knowledge have stemmed from a single, possibly non-human, source? The quest to answer that question opens up a fascinating debate. Now, let's break down the physical evidence we have. The glaring problems that no conventional explanation seems to solve, and the tantalizing possibility of a forgotten global legacy. Our journey into the realm of the unreplicable truly begins with a fundamental question. What exactly are these megalithic constructions we speak of? Simply put, megaliths are vast, often uncut or roughly cut stones, or structures built from them, typically from a prehistoric era. The term itself comes from the Greek words megas, meaning great, and lithos, meaning stone. These aren't just piles of rocks. They are deliberate, monumental architectural feats that stand as silent giants, questioning our conventional timelines and what we believe was possible for early human civilizations. From the rolling ancient plains of Europe to the remote islands of the Pacific, from the Americas to Africa and Asia, these colossal constructions dot our planet, each with its own local legend, yet collectively painting a picture of a global mystery. Imagine, if you will, looking at a map of the world and seeing these incredible structures appear like a scattering of enigmatic dots, each a testament to an unknown past. They challenge our understanding of history because, by all conventional accounts, the cultures that built them should not have possessed the knowledge or technology to do so. We are often taught a linear progression of human development, from simple tools to complex machines, from nomadic life to settled civilizations, each step building upon the last. Yet, megalithic sites often appear suddenly, fully formed, with sophisticated engineering, only to be seemingly abandoned or forgotten by subsequent generations, as if a profound knowledge was abruptly gained, then lost. What makes them truly baffling is not just their individual grandeur, but the striking commonalities found across continents, often in regions separated by immense oceans and millennia. We see the sheer size of the stones themselves, sometimes weighing hundreds of tons, moved and placed with an efficiency that puzzles modern experts. Then there is the impossible precision in their arrangement. stones fitted together so perfectly that a razor blade cannot be inserted between them, often without any mortar to bind them, and perhaps most intriguing of all, a recurring obsession with astronomical alignments, pointing to solstices, equinoxes, and specific star risings with breathtaking accuracy. These shared echoes across vast oceans whisper of something far more profound than isolated ingenuity. They suggest a unified knowledge, a common blueprint, or perhaps even a shared influence that transcended geographical and cultural boundaries. It's as if the ancient world was connected by an invisible thread of advanced understanding, allowing diverse peoples to achieve similar, seemingly impossible, feats. Tonight, as we gently drift through these ancient wonders, let us allow our minds to consider these possibilities. Let us approach these enigmas not with the limitations of our current understanding, but with an open curiosity, willing to entertain that the how and who might be far more extraordinary than we ever dared to imagine. As we explore each site, remember these foundational questions, for they are the keys to unlocking the deeper, global mystery that lies beneath the surface of every megalithic stone. Our journey now takes a deeper dive into the first undeniable challenge these ancient builders present to our modern understanding: the sheer, impossible weight of the stones they moved and placed. After contemplating the global tapestry of megaliths, we now zoom in on individual threads, each woven with the mystery of colossal mass. Imagine, if you will, the monumental effort required to quarry a stone weighing hundreds, even thousands of tons. How does one detach such a behemoth from its bedrock, transport it across challenging terrain, and then hoist it into place with incredible precision, all without the aid of modern machinery? This segment will gently guide us through sites where this feat was achieved repeatedly, prompting us to wonder about the methods that remain stubbornly beyond our grasp. Our first stop on this quiet exploration of impossible weights takes us to the ancient city of Baalbek, nestled in the Bekaa Valley of Lebanon. Here, amidst the majestic ruins of Roman temples, lies an even older, more astounding foundation, a platform of truly titanic stones. While the Romans built their magnificent temples upon it, the substructure itself speaks of an earlier, more enigmatic civilization. Specifically, we are drawn to the western retaining wall, where three stones, known collectively as the trilithon, reside. Each of these three megaliths is a staggering testament to unknown engineering. These aren't merely large stones, they are mountains of carved rock. Each block of the trilithon is estimated to weigh over 800 tons. To put that into perspective, an average modern tank weighs around 60 tons. We are talking about stones equivalent to more than 13 tanks each, measuring approximately 19 to 20 meters in length, 4.3 meters in height, and 3.6 meters in depth. Their scale alone is profoundly humbling. The precision with which they are cut and placed, fitting seamlessly into the wall, adds another layer of perplexity. Modern cranes, even the most powerful ones, typically have a lifting capacity of a few hundred tons, and certainly none could manage such a delicate placement of an 800-ton block without immense, specialized equipment that barely exists today. The quarry, where an even larger stone, the stone of the pregnant woman, or Hajar al-Hibla, lies partially cut and still attached to the bedrock, is located over a kilometer away and downhill from the temple platform. This means these colossal stones were not only quarried and lifted, but also transported uphill. How was this achieved? The gentle breeze whispering through the ruins of Baalbek carries no easy answers, only the enduring echo of a lost, monumental skill. From the sun-drenched valley of Baalbek, our journey carries us thousands of miles across oceans and continents, high into the Andean plateau of Bolivia, to the enigmatic ruins of Pumapunku, perched at an altitude of nearly 13,000 feet. This site is part of the larger Tiwanaku complex and presents a different, yet equally astounding, challenge of weight and precision. Pumapunku is renowned for its meticulously carved andesite and red sandstone blocks, many of which are scattered across the landscape as if an enormous, intricate puzzle had been violently disassembled. Here, the mystery isn't just about weight, but the masterful shaping of stone. The site features iconic H-blocks and other multifaceted stones, some weighing up to 130 tons. These aren't merely heavy. They are sculpted with an almost alien precision, featuring perfectly flat surfaces, sharp internal and external angles, and intricate interlocking notches that suggest a highly sophisticated understanding of geometry and mechanics. The largest red sandstone blocks at Pumapunku are estimated to weigh between 100 and 130 tons. Imagine trying to move just one of these colossal pieces of stone, let alone carving it with such meticulous accuracy, without metal tools as we know them, in such a remote and elevated location. The andesite, a volcanic rock used for many of the more intricately carved pieces, is incredibly hard, second only to diamond in density. Working with such material to achieve these almost microscopic tolerances implies a technology far superior to simple hammering and rubbing. The conventional explanations often involve hundreds or thousands of people using ropes and primitive tools. Yet, even with modern knowledge and equipment, replicating the feats of Pumapunku's builders, especially the precision cuts on hard stone and the transportation of such weights to that altitude, would be an extraordinary challenge. The sheer scale of the blocks, combined with their incredible craftsmanship, gently nudges us to consider that these ancient architects possessed insights and techniques we have yet to rediscover. The air is thin at Pumapunku, and the silence allows for contemplation. A quiet invitation to reevaluate the limits of human achievement. We continue to dwell on these incredible weights, allowing the sheer scale of these ancient feats to settle softly into our minds. As we prepare to uncover more giants of stone in our next tranquil exploration, we continue to dwell on these incredible weights, allowing the sheer scale of these ancient feats to settle softly into our minds. As we prepare to uncover more giants of stone in our next tranquil exploration, our next destination on this contemplative journey takes us high into the majestic Andes, to the ancient Inca fortress of Sacsayhuaman, overlooking the city of Cusco in Peru. While often attributed to the Inca, the sheer scale and megalithic nature of its oldest sections suggest a much earlier, perhaps pre-Inca, origin, hinting at a lost lineage of builders. Here, you are confronted by cyclopean walls composed of truly immense, irregularly shaped stones, each a geological enigma. The walls of Sacsayhuaman are a breathtaking display of engineering that defies easy explanation. Some of these colossal blocks, meticulously fitted together without a single speck of mortar, are estimated to weigh as much as 200 tons. Picture these stones, some standing over 8.5 meters high, intricately shaped with multiple angles and convex faces, yet locking together with such precision that not even a knife blade can be inserted between their joins. It's as if they were soft clay, molded by a giant hand, rather than granite and diorite carved by human effort. This unique polygonal masonry, known for its incredible resistance to seismic activity, showcases an understanding of forces and structural integrity that modern architects often strive to emulate, even today. consider the immense logistical challenges. The quarries for these enormous stones are miles away, some even across a river. How were these multi-ton behemoths not only detached from the mountainside, but then transported over rugged, hilly terrain? No discernible ancient roads or sophisticated hauling equipment remain that could explain such a feat. Once at the site, the task of lifting and maneuvering these irregularly shaped stones, each a unique puzzle piece, into their exact positions without the aid of modern cranes or levitation technology, seems utterly impossible. The traditional explanations involving hundreds or thousands of people, using ropes and simple wooden levers, seem profoundly inadequate when confronted with the physical reality of Sacsayhuaman. The sheer force, the exact angles, and the inexplicable way these stones seem to flow into one another challenge our every assumption about ancient technology. It is a quiet testament to a forgotten skill, a knowledge of stone manipulation that surpasses our own. This deep understanding of geometry and mass, echoed in sites across the globe, gently suggests a shared source of incredibly advanced architectural wisdom, inviting us to look beyond conventional narratives and into the quiet whispers of the past. Our journey through the realm of impossible weights now carries us to the heart of ancient Egypt, to the Giza Plateau, where the grandeur of the pyramids often overshadows other equally astounding megalithic achievements. While the pyramids themselves contain immense stones, we turn our gaze to the enigmatic Valley Temple of Kaffa, a structure that once served as a mortuary temple for the pharaoh. This imposing building, part of the funerary complex connected to the second pyramid, is largely constructed with truly colossal blocks of red Aswan granite, a material renowned for its extreme hardness and durability. Many of these polished granite blocks, forming the inner core and majestic facing of the temple, weigh between 50 and 100 tons, with some individual pieces possibly exceeding even that. These were not local stones. They were meticulously quarried hundreds of miles upstream at Aswan, then transported down the mighty Nile River. Imagine the engineering required to cut these massive blocks with such uniformity, load them onto ancient boats, navigate them along the river, unload them, and then haul them across the desert plateau to their final resting place. Furthermore, the precision with which these hard granite blocks are set, forming perfectly smooth walls with virtually invisible joints, speaks volumes. This isn't just about moving heavy objects. It's about a masterful control over material, a profound understanding of logistics, and an execution that seems to defy the simple copper tools, sand abrasion, and sheer manpower typically attributed to the Old Kingdom Egyptians. The absence of clear chisel marks, the perfectly flat, often polished surfaces, and the sheer scale of the undertaking suggest methods of quarrying, shaping, and precise placement that remain a profound mystery to modern archaeology and engineering. Even with today's technology, replicating such a project, from quarry to final position, would be a monumental and costly endeavor, requiring enormous barges, powerful cranes, and specialized cutting and polishing equipment. The silent, imposing presence of the Valley Temple, with its immense granite blocks standing testament to a forgotten age, quietly prompts us to wonder about the true capabilities of those who built it. These colossal stones, echoing the impossible weights of Baalbek and Sacsayhuaman, form a compelling pattern, a global signature of a lost, highly advanced engineering capability. Finally, let us cast our minds across the vastness of the Atlantic to the windswept fields of Karnak in Brittany, France. Here, over 3,000 prehistoric standing stones, or menhirs, are arranged in astonishingly precise rows, stretching for several kilometers. While individually not as massive as the stones of Baalbek or Sacsayhuaman, many of these menhirs still weigh tens of tons, with the largest known, the Grand Menhir Bryce, originally weighing around 300 tons before it fell and broke. The sheer number of these colossal stones, quarried from local rock, transported, and then erected into precise alignments over thousands of years, presents a challenge of unimaginable scale. The mystery of Karnak lies not just in the individual weights, but in the collective effort and unknown purpose of such an immense undertaking. How were these thousands of stones, each a significant weight, moved and stood upright in such perfect rows? The landscape offers few clues, and the logistical organization required for such a project would be astronomical even by modern standards. These lines of stone, marching across the ancient landscape, speak of a society with a profound understanding of planning, coordination, and perhaps even some forgotten method of manipulating such heavy objects. They stand as a silent, enduring question mark on our understanding of prehistoric capabilities, gently urging us to consider the possibility of a widespread, underlying intelligence at work. As we continue to explore these giants of stone, from the Andean peaks to the Egyptian plains and the European shores, the persistent question remains: what forgotten wisdom allowed these ancient builders to move mountains, and how much more will we uncover in their enduring legacy? Let these thoughts drift softly as we prepare to journey into the next part of this tranquil exploration of impossible weights. As our quiet exploration of impossible weights continues, we now turn our gaze back to Egypt, to the very source of some of those colossal stones we've already considered. In the ancient granite quarries of Aswan, a truly magnificent and humbling sight awaits: the unfinished obelisk. This monumental stone, still partially attached to the bedrock, serves as an open book, offering tantalizing clues, and even more profound questions about the methods and intentions of its ancient creators. Had it been completed, this obelisk would have been the largest ever carved, towering nearly 42 meters, or 137 feet, in height. Its estimated weight, a staggering 1,200 tons, would have dwarfed even the already immense trilithum blocks of Baalbek. Imagine a single piece of granite, equivalent to 20 modern tanks, destined to stand upright, reaching for the heavens. The scale of ambition here is almost incomprehensible. What makes the unfinished obelisk particularly illuminating, and yet so frustratingly enigmatic, is that it lies precisely where it was being carved. It shows the very first steps of the quarrying process. Ancient artisans were meticulously working to detach it from the living rock, using techniques that remain a subject of intense debate. Around the enormous, prone obelisk, one can still see the faint outlines of where workers chipped away at the granite. Conventional theories suggest the use of dolerite balls, a harder stone, to pound grooves into the granite, slowly separating the massive monolith. However, this process, even for a smaller obelisk, would have taken thousands of man-hours, perhaps even years, with an army of workers. And for an obelisk of this size, the logistics become astronomical. But the most striking aspect, and why it was ultimately abandoned, is a fatal crack running through its length. This crack, likely discovered during the carving process, rendered the entire colossal undertaking moot. Yet, even in its failure, it provides a window into the challenges faced by these ancient builders. It suggests that even with their advanced, perhaps inexplicable, methods, they were still susceptible to natural imperfections in the stone. It also begs the question: if this project was deemed too difficult to complete due to a natural flaw, What incredible technologies or brute force allowed them to successfully quarry, transport, and erect the countless other colossal stones that did make it to their destinations? The sheer amount of effort invested only to be abandoned underscores the preciousness and difficulty of working with such enormous weights. From the raw power evident in the quarries of Aswan, we reflect once more on the sheer physical challenge these sites represent. We've traversed from the immense trilithon of Baalbek, a testament to unexplainable lifting capacity, to the precisely shaped, multi-ton blocks of Puma Punku scattered like giants' toys across an Andean plain. We've stood before the Cyclopean earthquake-proof walls of Sacsayhuaman, where individual stones weigh as much as 200 tons and fit with impossible exactness. We've considered the colossal granite sections of the Giza Valley Temple, transported hundreds of miles and meticulously assembled, and we've imagined the thousands of massive menhirs at Karnak, marching in silent procession across the ancient French landscape. Across continents and millennia, the recurring theme is undeniable. Ancient civilizations possessed a mastery over colossal weights that continues to elude our modern capabilities, whether it was detaching a 1,200-ton obelisk from bedrock, hauling an 800-ton block uphill for over a kilometer, or precisely placing a 200-ton polygonal stone without mortar. The evidence speaks of a forgotten chapter in human, or perhaps non-human, ingenuity. Our current engineering models struggle to replicate these feats without significant technological advantages that simply did not exist in the ancient world. The quiet marvel of these impossible weights invites us to reconsider our assumptions about the past. It suggests that the how behind these structures is not simply a matter of more people, more ropes, or more time, but perhaps a radically different approach to physics, materials, and energy. This profound mystery of brute force and unknown methods leaves us with a lingering question, a soft whisper carried on the wind. If they could move mountains, what else were they capable of? And as we allow this thought to gently settle, our journey now prepares for its next revelation. For it wasn't just the weight of the stones that defied logic. It was also the astonishing, almost unbelievable precision with which they were cut, shaped, and joined. We now shift our focus from the sheer power required to manipulate these giants, to the exquisite, uncanny artistry found within their very fabric. An artistry that hints at a level of technological sophistication far beyond anything we associate with the ancient world. And as we allow this thought to gently settle, our journey now prepares for its next revelation. For it wasn't just the weight of the stones that defied logic. It was also the astonishing, almost unbelievable precision with which they were cut, shaped, and joined. We now shift our focus from the sheer power required to manipulate these giants to the exquisite, uncanny artistry found within their very fabric. An artistry that hints at a level of technological sophistication far beyond anything we associate with the ancient world. Having marveled at the monumental effort to lift and transport stones of impossible mass, our minds now turn to an even more delicate, yet equally perplexing, aspect of ancient megalithic engineering: the astonishing precision of their cuts and the uncanny, mortarless joins. It is one thing to quarry and move 1,000 block. It is quite another to then shape that block with such exactitude that it fits seamlessly with its neighbors, forming walls that have withstood millennia without the need for binding agents. This level of craftsmanship challenges our understanding of ancient tools and methods even more profoundly than the sheer weight. It suggests a mastery of geometry, material science, and possibly even unknown energy sources that allowed for a finesse we can barely replicate today, even with laser-guided equipment. This segment invites us to softly contemplate the silent testimony of perfectly interlocked stones, whispering secrets of forgotten arts. Our quiet exploration of precision begins high in the sacred valley of Peru, at the ancient Inca site of Ollantaytambo. Nestled amidst towering mountains, this once great administrative center and ceremonial site presents some of the most perplexing examples of finely cut and fitted megalithic stonework. While often attributed to the Inca, the underlying construction and the sheer scale of the largest stones hint at an earlier, perhaps pre-Inca origin, a theme we find repeated in many ancient sites. We are drawn, in particular, to the Temple of the Sun, a formidable structure featuring 6 colossal pink rhyolite monoliths that stand proudly on its highest platform. These 6 slabs are nothing short of architectural wonders. Each one is enormous, weighing many tens of tons, and yet they fit together with a precision that defies belief. What makes them truly uncanny are their intricate, multifaceted surfaces and the way they interlock perfectly, almost as if they were designed to be earthquake-proof puzzle pieces. The joins are so tight that a piece of paper or even a razor blade cannot be inserted between them. And these aren't simple, straight cuts. Many of the stones have convex or concave surfaces, designed to perfectly embrace the contours of their adjacent blocks. The material itself, pink rhyolite, is incredibly hard, making such intricate carving with primitive copper or bronze tools seem utterly implausible. We must consider the immense effort of not only shaping these stones, but doing so with such flawless accuracy without any visible evidence of the tools that could achieve it. Adding to the enigma are the peculiar bosses or protrusions left on many of the larger stones. While some suggest these were handholds for maneuvering the blocks, their often in reachable positions and perfect symmetry suggest a more symbolic, or perhaps even a no-lost, functional purpose. Modern stonemasons, when faced with replicating such work, acknowledge the extraordinary difficulty, often stating that it would require advanced computer-aided design and diamond-tipped cutting tools, followed by meticulous polishing. The quiet stones of Ollantaytambo stand as a testament to a craftsmanship that goes far beyond simple manual labor, suggesting a profound geometric and engineering knowledge possessed by their enigmatic builders. This ancient site quietly invites us to question the limits we impose on the past, beckoning us to open our minds to possibilities beyond conventional understanding. From the grand terraces of Ollantaytambo, our gaze now gently drifts further into the Peruvian Andes, to the awe-inspiring citadel of Machu Picchu, often hailed as a masterpiece of Inca engineering. Certain sections of Machu Picchu exhibit the same astonishing megalithic precision that hints at a knowledge possibly inherited or adapted from even earlier civilizations. Here, the challenge is not only the size of some of the stones, but the meticulous, almost artistic, way they are integrated into the natural mountain landscape and joined to form unyielding structures. Consider the walls of the main temple, or the elegant curvature of the Temple of the Sun, where granite blocks, some weighing upwards of 20 tons, are flawlessly joined without mortar. These stones are not simply stacked. They are meticulously shaped, often with subtle curves or multiple angles, to fit together with impeccable tightness. The effect is one of organic unity, as if the walls grew from the mountainside itself. The precision is particularly evident in the polygonal masonry style, where stones of various shapes and sizes interlock perfectly, creating an incredibly stable and earthquake-resistant structure. This advanced technique, far from simple, demonstrates an extraordinary understanding of load distribution and seismic forces. The difficulty in achieving such flawless fits on hard granite without metal tools capable of precision cutting is immense. Conventional archaeological theories suggest a laborious process of repeatedly grinding and polishing stone surfaces with abrasive sand and water until they achieved the perfect fit. However, the scale of this work, the sheer number of precisely shaped stones across vast complexes, and the absence of clear tool marks or massive amounts of abrasive residue leave many questions unanswered. It's difficult to imagine achieving such exacting tolerances without some form of advanced measurement and cutting technology. The atmosphere at Machu Picchu is one of quiet majesty, and the silent stones offer an eloquent testimony to a lost artistry, inviting us to contemplate the profound intelligence that once animated these remote mountain peaks. This enduring mystery of uncanny joins gently guides us further into the secrets embedded within the very fabric of these ancient marvels, preparing us for even more revelations of precision in stone. The enduring mystery of uncanny joins gently guides us further into the secrets embedded within the very fabric of these ancient marvels, preparing us for even more revelations of precision in stone. We have contemplated the mountainous efforts to move colossal weights, and now our minds are invited to wander into the realm of the exquisite, almost microscopic precision that these same ancient hands, or perhaps something more, achieved. Our serene journey through astonishing precision now carries us to the heart of ancient Egypt, a land synonymous with monumental construction, yet also holding secrets of incredibly fine craftsmanship. Beyond the colossal pyramids and temples, there exists evidence of stonework so precise and so smooth that it continues to baffle engineers and archaeologists alike. We are not just talking about cut stones, but surfaces polished to a mirror-like sheen and internal angles carved with an exactitude that modern machinery struggles to replicate in such hard materials. Consider, for a moment, the enigmatic Serapeum at Saqqara. This vast subterranean complex houses enormous, highly polished sarcophagi made from single blocks of Aswan granite, a stone of immense hardness. Each of these 24 sarcophagi weighs between 70 and 100 tons, and their lids alone are estimated at 20 to 30 tons. Yet, it is not merely their weight that astounds, but the almost unbelievable precision of their internal and external surfaces. The granite is polished to an optical flatness, with corners that are perfectly square, forming internal angles of exactly 90 degrees, often within fractions of a millimeter of tolerance. Achieving such flawless flatness and precise internal angles on granite, a material requiring diamond-tipped tools and sophisticated measuring instruments today, with only rudimentary ancient tools, seems utterly impossible. Imagine trying to achieve this level of internal polish and angular perfection using only copper tools and abrasive sand. The effort would be astronomical. The result, by all accounts, unachievable. The cool, silent air of the Serapeum seems to hum with the lingering question of how such mastery was attained. This same impossible precision is echoed in other, less obvious, yet equally compelling, aspects of Egyptian construction. Take the casing stones of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Though most have been removed over the millennia, the remaining few, and historical accounts, describe a surface of polished white Torah limestone, fitted together with joints so fine that they are almost invisible to the naked eye. These blocks, each weighing many tons, were cut and placed with tolerances so small, less than a millimeter, across immense surface areas. Such uniform, precise fitting over millions of blocks suggests a level of surveying, leveling, and cutting technology that far exceeds the capabilities typically attributed to the Bronze Age. It implies a deep understanding of geodesy and advanced construction methods. Then there are the intriguing, seemingly impossible angles and complex geometries seen in some ancient Egyptian stonework. We find evidence of drill holes and saw marks that suggest tools far more sophisticated than chisels. Some saw cuts are so fine and so straight through solid granite that they appear to have been made by power saws with blades we can only speculate about. The internal carvings on various artifacts, often made of incredibly hard stone like diorite or basalt, display a level of symmetrical perfection and smooth curvature that baffles modern artisans. How could ancient craftsmen achieve such intricate, balanced designs and perfectly smooth, often concave or convex, surfaces without advanced lathes or grinding machines? It hints at a command over materials and a mastery of shaping techniques that remain tantalizingly out of our reach. This meticulous artistry, this uncanny precision found within the hardest of stones, speaks volumes of a civilization that possessed a profound, yet forgotten, understanding of engineering and physics. It pushes us beyond the narrative of simple human ingenuity and into a quiet contemplation of what truly advanced knowledge might have existed in the ancient world. The very fabric of these stones whispers stories of a lost technology, leaving us to wonder about the silent methods that allowed such delicate yet colossal work. As we continue to reflect on these perfectly crafted surfaces and impossible angles, let these thoughts gently settle in your mind, preparing us for the next, equally intriguing, revelations of ancient artistry and precision. Our journey through meticulous artistry now brings us back to the heart of Peru, to the sacred city of Cusco, and the profound site of Coricancha, or the Temple of Gold. While much of its original structure was later incorporated into a Spanish colonial church, the remaining Inca walls of Coricancha offer a breathtaking display of curvilinear masonry, stones shaped with such extraordinary precision and integrated with such skill that they appear to flow almost organically, as if carved from a single, continuous piece of rock. These walls, constructed from large, precisely cut and polished andesite blocks, curve gracefully around the inner sanctums of the temple. The stones are fitted so tightly, without any mortar, that their joints are virtually invisible, creating surfaces as smooth as glass. This isn't just straight-line perfection, it's perfection in 3 dimensions, with each stone uniquely shaped to conform to the precise curve of the wall and to interlock with its neighbors with unwavering accuracy. Imagine the skill required to not only quarry and transport such stones, but to then shape them with such a delicate, flowing curvature and integrate them into a perfect, earthquake-resistant structure. Modern masonry, even with sophisticated tools, would struggle to achieve this level of seamless, curved integration. It speaks of a design philosophy and a technological capability that saw stone not as a rigid, unyielding material, but as something to be molded and shaped with liquid-like grace. The quiet elegance of Coricancha's walls whispers of an architectural sensibility that was deeply attuned to harmony, not just with other stones, but with the very essence of the earth itself. Still in Cusco, we turn our attention to another striking example of this uncanny artistry, the famous 12-angled stone, or Hatanrumiok, embedded within a wall of the Inca Roca Palace. Now forming part of the Archbishop's Palace, this single, enormous, diorite stone is a marvel of polygonal masonry. It is not remarkable for its sheer size, though it is substantial, but for its astounding complexity and perfect fit. As its name suggests, this stone boasts 12 distinct angles, each one meticulously carved to interlock with the surrounding irregular blocks, creating a wall of unsurpassed stability and beauty. The precision displayed in the carving of each of these 12 angles, and their flawless alignment with adjacent stones, is truly bewildering. How could ancient builders achieve such complex, geometric shaping without advanced surveying equipment or precision cutting tools? Each angle is not merely a rough approximation but a perfectly formed facet that allows the stone to settle into its specific place within the wall, holding its neighbors in an unbreakable embrace. The entire wall, a testament to the Incas or their predecessors' advanced construction techniques, seems to defy the very nature of stone. It demonstrates a mastery over material and form that goes beyond simple craftsmanship. It hints at a deep understanding of structural mechanics and an almost intuitive grasp of three-dimensional geometry. The silent dignity of the 12-angled stone stands as a quiet reminder that the ancients possessed a wisdom of construction that remains one of our most profound and beautiful enigmas. As we gently step back from these individual examples of precise artistry, a consistent pattern emerges. From the perfectly polished surfaces of the Serapeum boxes to the seamlessly interlocking, multi-angled walls of Ollantaytambo and Machu Picchu, and the flowing curvilinear masonry of Coricancha and the intricate puzzle of Hatenrumiok, we observe a pervasive, almost obsessive, dedication to flawless precision. This was not haphazard work. It was a deliberate, sophisticated, and widespread skill that allowed ancient builders to transform inert rock into structures of enduring beauty and unyielding strength. The common thread weaving through these sites is the ability to manipulate the hardest materials with a finesse that implies technology far beyond the simple tools of their supposed eras. It challenges the conventional narrative that these cultures achieved such feats through sheer brute force and endless manual labor alone. Instead, it suggests a profound, perhaps lost, understanding of material properties, geometry, and possibly even unknown methods of energy or sound manipulation to shape stone. This advanced artistry, with its baffling precision and uncanny joins, solidifies the idea that these were not isolated bursts of human genius, but rather manifestations of a shared, highly sophisticated knowledge system that permeated the ancient world. It's a testament to builders who understood the earth and its materials in ways we are only beginning to reimagine, even today. And with this understanding of their mastery over stone, both in its immense weight and its intricate forms, our thoughts are now drawn to an even grander canvas upon which these ancient architects etched their knowledge. For their precision wasn't limited to the earthly realm. It extended upwards to the heavens themselves. We are now prepared to explore the captivating world of astronomical alignments, where these colossal and precisely cut stones become silent observatories, recording the movements of the cosmos and whispering secrets of a global, universal blueprint. Let these profound insights into ancient artistry softly guide your mind into the unfolding cosmic mystery. And so, as we allow the subtle echoes of lost artistry to softly resonate within our minds, our journey now expands beyond the mere physical manipulation of stone to embrace a far grander cosmic canvas. We have witnessed the impossible weights and the uncanny precision of ancient builders, but now we turn our attention to how these colossal and finely cut stones were often orchestrated with the celestial ballet above. This reveals an understanding of the cosmos that transcends simple observation, hinting at a global, unified blueprint of knowledge that connected Earth to the heavens, and perhaps different continents to one another. It's as if these ancient structures were not just buildings, but silent, enduring observatories, carefully recording the dance of stars, sun, and moon for millennia, whispering secrets of universal truths. Our first celestial alignment takes us to the windswept plains of Wiltshire, England, where the iconic circle of Stonehenge stands in majestic mystery, dating back to around 2500 BC. This prehistoric monument has captivated humanity for centuries, not just for its massive sarsen stones and bluestones, some weighing up to 50 tons, but for its profound connection to the sky. The most famous, and perhaps most compelling, astronomical alignment at Stonehenge is its precise orientation with the summer solstice sunrise. On this longest day of the year, as the sun crests the horizon, its first rays pierce directly through the heelstone, illuminating the heart of the monument. This wasn't an accident. It required an intricate understanding of solar cycles and meticulous planning to position each colossal stone with such exactitude. Imagine the sheer dedication of these ancient builders, tracking the sun's path across years, perhaps even decades, to ensure that their monumental creation would mark this celestial event with unwavering accuracy. This feat isn't just about moving stones, it's about orchestrating architecture with the rhythms of the universe, demonstrating a sophisticated form of archaeoastronomy. For modern engineers, replicating this alignment with such enormous, irregularly shaped stones spread across a significant landscape would demand extensive surveying, GPS technology, and powerful cranes, all calibrated to celestial movements. The idea that this was achieved with simple ropes and rollers seems, to many, insufficient. The quiet stones of Stonehenge, etched against the ancient sky, invite us to ponder a past where the earth and the heavens were understood as intimately connected, and where knowledge of that connection was embedded in stone for all time. From the open skies of England, our cosmic journey carries us across the sea to the Emerald Isle of Ireland, where we encounter an even older, yet equally astounding, example of celestial architecture, Newgrange. This monumental passage tomb, part of the Bíar na Boinn complex in County Meath, predates Stonehenge by several centuries, dating back to roughly 3200 BC, making it older than the Great Pyramids of Giza. Newgrange is not merely a burial site, it is an extraordinary ancient observatory, a testament to an advanced understanding of the cosmos, built with immense stone blocks weighing up to 10 tons. The most captivating feature of Newgrange is its stunning alignment with the winter solstice sunrise. For just a few precious minutes on the shortest day of the year, a narrow beam of sunlight penetrates a small opening known as the roof box above the entrance. This beam travels down the long, precisely constructed passage, illuminating the central chamber with an ethereal glow. This alignment is not only incredibly precise, occurring only once a year, but it also required the builders to predict astronomical phenomena centuries, if not millennia, in advance. Consider the immense challenge of constructing a stone edifice, designed to withstand over 5,000 years, with such an exact portal that it captures a single, fleeting moment of sunlight on a specific day. This level of foresight and engineering precision, maintaining alignment over such a vast span of time, speaks of an astronomical and architectural knowledge that defies our conventional understanding of Neolithic capabilities. It suggests a civilization deeply attuned to the cycles of the sun, perhaps even viewing it as a sacred connection to renewal and life. The hushed chamber of Newgrange, briefly touched by the winter sun, offers a powerful, calming meditation on the enduring wisdom of our ancient predecessors, and the quiet, yet profound global echoes of a shared cosmic understanding. These initial glimpses into Stonehenge and Newgrange reveal a consistent pattern. Ancient builders, separated by vast distances and seemingly distinct cultures, possessed a shared, sophisticated knowledge of celestial mechanics. They weren't simply raising stones. They were orchestrating the earth with the heavens, embedding cosmic calendars into the very landscape. This raises a compelling question. How did such detailed, identical knowledge proliferate across the ancient world? As we allow these profound thoughts to gently settle, we prepare to uncover more instances of this global astronomical wisdom, continuing our tranquil drift through the ancient marvels that connect us to the stars. As we continue to ponder the profound astronomical insights of Stonehenge and Newgrange, our journey now carries us across vast oceans and millennia, revealing that this celestial wisdom was not an isolated phenomenon, but a truly global echo. It is as if the same cosmic blueprint, the same fundamental understanding of the heavens, was imparted to or discovered by diverse civilizations in distant lands. These are not mere coincidences. They are deliberate, meticulously engineered connections between earth and sky, guiding us toward a deeper mystery about the origins of this shared knowledge. Our next destination on this tranquil celestial voyage takes us to the vibrant heart of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, to the ancient Mayan city of Chichen Itza. Here, amidst the lush jungle, stands the magnificent pyramid of El Castillo, also known as the Temple of Kukulkan. This iconic structure, dating to around the 9th to 12th centuries AD, is a breathtaking testament to the Mayas' advanced astronomical and mathematical knowledge, built with a precision that continues to inspire awe. El Castillo is not merely a pyramid. It is a giant stone calendar and a sophisticated celestial clock. Its most famous alignment occurs twice a year, during the spring and autumn equinoxes, as the sun begins its descent on these specific days. A spectacular visual phenomenon unfolds. The interplay of light and shadow on the pyramid's northern staircase creates the illusion of a giant serpent, Kukulkan, descending from the heavens to earth. The shadows, formed by the corners of the 9-stepped terraces, slither down to meet a carved serpent's head at the base of the staircase. This breathtaking spectacle lasts for just a few precious hours. Imagine the generations of astronomical observation, the profound mathematical calculations, and the precise architectural planning required to design and build such a monument, ensuring that this particular play of light and shadow would occur with unwavering accuracy thousands of years into the future. It's a feat of engineering and celestial foresight that continues to perplex modern experts, for it implies not just a knowledge of the sun's path, but an understanding of how to translate that knowledge into monumental, interactive architecture without the aid of modern instruments. The quiet majesty of El Castillo, basking in the equinox sun, whispers tales of a civilization deeply connected to the cosmic dance, leaving us to wonder about the source of such extraordinary insight. From the complex alignments of the Maya, our journey now takes us further south, along the arid Pacific coast of Peru, to the incredibly ancient city of Caral. Discovered relatively recently, Caral is considered one of the oldest known urban centers in the Americas, flourishing as far back as 2600 BC, making it a contemporary of the Great Pyramids of Egypt. What makes Caral profoundly significant in our cosmic exploration are the clear and abundant signs of astronomical observation and alignment embedded within its architectural layout. Unlike the monumental pyramids of Egypt or the elaborate carvings of the Maya, Caral's structures are simpler, yet their purpose reveals an equally sophisticated understanding of the heavens. The city features several circular plazas and earthen mounds, many of which are specifically oriented to track solstices and equinoxes, and possibly other celestial events. For instance, an arrangement of 13 precisely placed stones forms a calendrical device, marking the annual solar cycle. These aren't random placements. They are deliberate, functional astronomical tools built into the very fabric of the city. The placement of major pyramids and ceremonial structures often aligns with significant astronomical points, suggesting that the entire urban plan was carefully designed to reflect and interact with the cosmic order. The very act of laying out a city with such precision, attuned to celestial movements, speaks of a culture that viewed the sky not just as a backdrop, but as a living calendar, a guide for agriculture, ceremonies, and perhaps even spiritual beliefs. The quiet, ancient stones of Caral, baked by the Peruvian sun, invite us to contemplate a forgotten era when human life was inextricably linked to the grand movements of the universe, suggesting a widespread, shared reverence for and mastery of the cosmic order. Our celestial journey now guides us back to the banks of the mighty Nile, to ancient Egypt once more, but this time to explore not just the alignment of their grand structures, but the embedded astronomical knowledge found within their sacred texts and temple ceilings. While the pyramids of Giza undoubtedly possess celestial alignments, some of the most intricate and overtly astronomical records come from later periods, often reflecting an accumulation of knowledge that could only have stemmed from millennia of observation and a highly sophisticated understanding. Consider, for example, the famous Dendera zodiac, found on the ceiling of a portico in the Temple of Hathor at Dendera. This circular bas-relief, now housed in the Louvre Museum, is not merely a depiction of astrological symbols, but a complex map of the ancient Egyptian sky, showing constellations, planets, and key astronomical points. While the current temple dates from the Ptolemaic period, the knowledge it encapsulates clearly has much deeper roots. The accuracy of the celestial bodies depicted, and their arrangement, reveals an advanced level of astronomical observation and calendrical science. This wasn't just about marking solstices. It was about understanding the long cycles of stars, the movements of planets, and perhaps even precession. The intricate carvings speak of a civilization that meticulously documented the heavens, using this knowledge not only for religious rites but for precise timekeeping and predicting celestial events. The very existence of such a detailed celestial map, incorporated into the architectural fabric of a sacred space, underscores the profound and enduring connection between ancient Egyptian culture and the cosmos. It paints a picture of architects and priests who were also astronomers, working with a shared, highly developed body of knowledge that allowed them to literally bring the heavens down to earth. These diverse examples, from the serpent shadow of Chichen Itza to the calendrical stones of Caral and the intricate zodiacs of Egypt, weave together a compelling narrative. They demonstrate that ancient builders across the globe possessed not just an intuitive understanding, but a mathematically precise and architecturally embedded knowledge of astronomical phenomena. This shared capability, transcending geographical boundaries and technological differences, strongly suggests a common, perhaps singular, source of advanced cosmic understanding. The quiet contemplation of these global echoes and astronomical alignments leaves us with a sense of immense wonder, as we prepare to uncover even more instances of this profound, universally distributed intelligence in the next tranquil exploration of the ancient world. Let your thoughts drift, gently considering the possibility that the stars held secrets these ancient builders knew, secrets that still await our rediscovery. Let your thoughts drift, gently considering the possibility that the stars held secrets these ancient builders knew, secrets that still await our rediscovery. As we delve deeper into this final segment on celestial connections, we uncover further compelling evidence that the ancients were not merely observers of the sky, but active participants in a cosmic dance, meticulously charting the heavens and embedding that profound wisdom into the very stones of their monumental creations. This global tapestry of astronomical precision, woven across continents and millennia, only strengthens the quiet whisper of a unified, perhaps universal, knowledge. Our quiet journey now takes us to a site that dramatically reshapes our understanding of early human capabilities and their relationship with the cosmos. Göbekli Tepe, in southeastern Turkey, dating back an astonishing 12,000 years, to a time long before agriculture and settled civilizations were thought possible. This complex of massive carved stone pillars predates Stonehenge by over 6,000 years and the Egyptian pyramids by over 7,000. Here, enormous T-shaped pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons, are arranged in circles, adorned with intricate carvings of animals and symbols. While the primary purpose of Göbekli Tepe is still debated, many researchers propose that some of its enclosures and pillars were deliberately aligned with significant astronomical events, or perhaps even served as an ancient star chart. The sheer age of Göbekli Tepe and its sophisticated design challenges the conventional narrative that complex astronomical observations only emerged with later, more settled agricultural societies. Instead, it suggests that even early hunter-gatherer cultures possessed an advanced understanding of celestial cycles, using monumental stone architecture to mark, celebrate, or perhaps even harness these cosmic rhythms. Imagine these ancient people under vast, unpolluted skies, painstakingly erecting and carving these colossal pillars to reflect their profound connection to the universe. The precise positioning of these pillars, some pointing to the rising of particular stars or the solstices, indicates a level of astronomical knowledge and engineering skill that pushes back the timeline of advanced human intelligence by thousands of years. It's as if a fundamental understanding of the cosmos was present at the very dawn of settled human existence, a global echo from an incredibly distant past. The silence of Göbekli Tepe, broken only by the whispers of the wind, invites us to reevaluate when and how humanity first looked up at the stars and decided to build monuments in their honor. Returning to the familiar grandeur of Egypt, we can also consider the underlying mathematical precision that underpins many of their temple orientations. Beyond the obvious solar alignments of temples like Karnak or the general cardinal orientation of the Great Pyramids, a deeper analysis often reveals a profound understanding of sacred geometry and specific mathematical ratios embedded within their design. For example, the incredibly precise north-south alignment of the Great Pyramid of Giza, off by only a tiny fraction of a degree, is a testament to an almost unbelievable level of ancient surveying skill, arguably aligning with true north more accurately than many modern structures. This wasn't achieved by guesswork. It required a sophisticated grasp of geodesy and an ability to fix precise astronomical points, perhaps using knowledge of celestial poles. The consistency of such precision across multiple ancient Egyptian sites suggests a standardized, highly advanced set of architectural and astronomical principles, pointing to a unified body of knowledge. Furthermore, some researchers propose that specific constellations, such as Orion, were not only depicted in Egyptian art, but were also mirrored in the layout of the Giza pyramids themselves. While this Orion correlation theory remains a subject of ongoing debate, the very discussion highlights the intricate ways in which ancient cultures, and particularly the Egyptians, wove their celestial observations into the very fabric of their monumental architecture. Whether these were direct correlations or symbolic representations, the underlying message remains the same. the heavens played a central guiding role in their grand designs, executed with an almost unimaginable level of mathematical and astronomical precision. These subtle, yet profound, mathematical harmonies within the alignments serve as another layer of evidence, suggesting a globally distributed, advanced astronomical knowledge. As we gently conclude this segment on global echoes and astronomical alignments, a powerful and consistent narrative emerges from the precise solar gates of Stonehenge and Newgrange, designed to capture the fleeting moments of solstices, to the Serpent of Light at Chichen Itza, a marvel of celestial engineering, from the ancient calendrical observatories of Carol, marking the rhythms of the sun, to the incredibly old, perhaps cosmically aligned, pillars of Göbekli Tepe, and the geometrically precise and star-oriented temples of Egypt, a singular, undeniable truth presents itself. These ancient builders, separated by vast distances, different languages, and what we perceive as immense technological limitations, shared a common, profound understanding of the cosmos. Their monuments are not merely piles of heavy stones or beautifully crafted walls. They are intricate cosmic calendars, sophisticated observatories, and enduring testaments to a knowledge that transcended their local cultures. This isn't a series of isolated, brilliant insights. It's a global phenomenon, a widespread intelligence that orchestrates the earth with the heavens, embedding a universal blueprint into the landscape. The mathematical precision, the long-term foresight required, and the sheer consistency of these alignments across the globe strongly suggest a unified, highly advanced source of knowledge that influenced these diverse civilizations. The question then shifts from what they built to how they built it, and from whom this profound understanding might have originated. If these ancient cultures were capable of such precise astronomical calculations and their architectural manifestation, how did they achieve these feats without the tools and technologies we deem essential today? This enduring enigma now gently guides our minds to the next, equally perplexing segment of our journey, directly challenging the conventional wisdom surrounding the construction methods, and asking the how question that continues to echo through the ages. Let the quiet mystery of these celestial connections prepare your mind for the profound questions that lie ahead. As we softly drift into the next chapter of our exploration, our journey now leads us to the heart of the enigma, a question that lingers in the minds of every curious soul who beholds these ancient wonders. How were these colossal stones quarried, transported, and erected with such mind-boggling precision? For decades, mainstream archaeology has offered explanations, theories rooted in what we understand of ancient human capabilities. But as we gently explore these conventional narratives, we must also, with a calm and open mind, consider their limitations and inconsistencies when faced with the undeniable evidence we've already uncovered. This segment invites us to respectfully examine these long-held beliefs and quietly ponder whether they truly offer a complete answer to the profound mystery etched in stone. It's a journey into critical thought, conducted with the soothing rhythm of contemplation, designed to gently challenge the edges of our historical understanding. Let us begin with one of the most widely accepted theories for moving these immense blocks: the use of ramps and sheer human brute force. When we speak of the Egyptian pyramids, for instance, the conventional explanation often involves tens of thousands of workers using colossal earthen ramps, slowly dragging the heavy stones into position with ropes and sledges. Imagine, if you will, the sheer scale of such an undertaking: a vast army of individuals pulling and pushing for years, even decades, to construct just one pyramid. For the smaller blocks, This theory seems plausible, a testament to coordinated human labor. However, when we apply this theory to the truly colossal stones we've discussed, the 800-ton blocks of Baalbek, the 200-ton polygonal stones of Saxe-Horman, or even the 100-ton casing stones of Giza, the practicality of ramps becomes profoundly problematic. Consider the physics involved. A ramp capable of supporting and allowing the movement of an 800-ton stone would itself need to be monumental in scale, far exceeding the size of the structure being built. Such a ramp would require an equally immense amount of material, earth, stone, and wood, and an even greater number of workers to construct and maintain it. Yet, for many of these sites, there is a striking lack of archaeological evidence for such gargantuan ramps. Where are the remains of these massive structures, often far larger than the megalith itself? And how would such a ramp be constructed, then removed, without leaving behind substantial traces? The very absence of this evidence for structures that would have been engineering marvels in their own right quietly challenges the completeness of this explanation. The thought of thousands upon thousands of individuals hauling such impossible weights up increasingly steep and unstable inclines, using only primitive ropes, seems to demand a leap of faith that the physical evidence often struggles to support. Next, we gently consider the theory of simple tools. Mainstream archaeology often posits that these incredible feats of stone shaping and precision were achieved using basic tools: copper chisels, stone hammers, and abrasive sands, with water for grinding and polishing. For softer stones, like limestone, this approach holds some merit. We know ancient cultures possessed and utilized these materials. But what happens when we consider the incredibly hard materials frequently found in megalithic constructions? The pink rhyolite of Ollantaytambo, the andesite of Puma Punku and Machu Picchu, and most strikingly, the granite of the Egyptian Serapeum sarcophagi or the Aswan quarries. These are materials so dense and hard that even modern steel tools struggle against them without significant effort. Copper, a relatively soft metal, would be utterly ineffective against granite or andesite for precision cutting, shaping, or polishing to the tolerances we observed. Hammering with harder stones might break off larger chunks, but it could not produce the optical flatness, the perfectly square internal angles, or the razor-thin joins that distinguish many megalithic sites. Imagine trying to create a perfectly polished, optically flat surface on 70-ton granite sarcophagi with 90-degree internal corners, using only pounding and abrasive sand. The time, the sustained effort, and the sheer impossibility of achieving such geometric perfection with those means, without advanced measurement and calibration, becomes an almost insurmountable barrier to belief. The quiet evidence of the stones themselves, with their impossible cuts and flawless finishes, gently whispers that something more, something profoundly different, must have been at play. And finally, let us turn our attention to the idea of immense manpower coupled with primitive levers and rollers for transportation and placement. This theory often suggests that, given enough human hands, even the heaviest objects can be moved. While true for certain limits, the mechanical advantage offered by primitive levers made of wood and rollers of tree trunks dramatically decreases as the weight of the object increases into the hundreds of tons. The structural integrity of such wooden tools under extreme pressure would be a constant challenge. Furthermore, the delicate placement required for many megalithic structures, interlocking stones that fit within fractions of a millimeter, or massive blocks hoisted into narrow spaces, demands a level of control and precision that's simple. Levers and thousands of human hands struggling with ropes would find virtually impossible to achieve. Picture the multi-angled stones of Sacsayhuaman, each weighing over 100 tons, maneuvered into their exact, unique positions without damaging their intricate surfaces or the stones already in place. Does the image of hundreds of people pulling on ropes, hoping for the best, truly reconcile with the architectural perfection we see? The very nature of the polygonal masonry, where each stone is a unique puzzle piece, makes mass production of effort, without precise individual control, seem incredibly unlikely. The logistical nightmare of coordinating thousands of individuals, each applying force in a specific direction, with no clear command and control systems as we know them, pushes the limits of what human organization alone could achieve. The quiet silence of these ancient sites gently prompts us to question if the sheer numbers of laborers, without a fundamental shift in applied physics or technology, could genuinely explain the miraculous engineering we witness. As we conclude this initial exploration into the limitations of conventional wisdom, the pervasive question deepens. While these traditional theories offer some framework for understanding simpler constructions, they consistently fall short when confronted with the true scale, precision, and sophistication of the megalithic wonders across our world. The evidence, patiently observed and calmly considered, quietly suggests that the how remains a profound enigma, inviting us to look beyond the accepted narratives and open our minds to possibilities that truly challenge the known limits of ancient human capabilities. We allow these thoughts to gently settle as we prepare to continue dissecting the shortcomings of conventional explanations. Moving closer to the heart of the mystery, we continue to reflect on the limitations of conventional wisdom, allowing these thoughts to gently settle as we prepare to further dissect the shortcomings of accepted explanations, moving ever closer to the quiet heart of the mystery. Having calmly examined the difficulties surrounding ramps, primitive tools, and sheer manpower, our contemplative journey now directs us towards even more specific inconsistencies that emerge when these traditional theories confront the tangible evidence of the megalithic world. It's an invitation to ponder, with an open and curious mind, what truly enabled these ancient wonders. Let us calmly consider the striking absence of archaeological evidence for the large-scale tools or techniques that would be absolutely essential if conventional theories were entirely accurate. If massive armies of workers were indeed using copper chisels to shape hard granite, we would expect to find countless worn-out tools, extensive quarry waste indicative of such labor, and clear tool marks consistent with pounding and grinding. Yet, in many of the most baffling sites, this evidence is conspicuously missing. For instance, the perfectly polished, optically flat surfaces of the Serapeum sarcophagi, or the precision cuts in the granite of the Giza casing stones, defy explanation by simple copper tools, which would leave behind rough, uneven marks, or simply be ineffective against such hard material. Where are the grinding beds that would have polished these surfaces to such exactitude, or the vast quantities of abrasive sands required? The archaeological record, while rich in other aspects, remains largely silent on the precise mechanisms that could have produced such refined work on a monumental scale using only known, primitive technologies. This quiet absence of evidence doesn't necessarily disprove all conventional theories, but it certainly casts a long, thoughtful shadow of doubt upon their ability to fully account for the extraordinary precision we have observed. Furthermore, we must gently probe the argument of human ingenuity and its limits when faced with the sheer scale and exacting precision observed across these megalithic sites. While human ingenuity is undoubtedly boundless and inspiring, there are physical laws and practical constraints that even the most determined human effort cannot overcome without the right technology. Imagine for a moment being tasked with replicating the polygonal walls of Sacsayhuaman. You have your team of thousands, ropes, and wooden levers. How would you precisely shape a 200-ton stone with a dozen unique angles, ensuring each facet perfectly marries with its neighbor, all while working with hard diorite? Then, how would you lift and maneuver that stone without any damage into its exact place? The fine tolerances, often less than a millimeter, required for the mortarless joins are not a matter of sheer force. They are a matter of absolute control, precise measurement, and an understanding of geometry that goes far beyond what simple ingenuity with crude tools can achieve. It's difficult to reconcile the image of thousands of people pulling on ropes, inherently introducing variability and imprecision, with the unwavering, almost machine-like accuracy we see in the interlocking stones. The idea that such perfection could be achieved through a laborious, trial-and-error process with primitive means, across hundreds or thousands of massive blocks, strains the imagination and challenges our understanding of practical engineering limits. The quiet contemplation of this gap between supposed methods and observed results invites us to consider that something more, something profoundly different, was at play. And what of the logistical nightmare represented by the mere act of transporting these gargantuan stones, not just for miles, but sometimes uphill, over challenging terrain? Consider the largest red sandstone blocks at Punku, weighing up to 130 tons, moved across the Andean plateau to an elevation of nearly 13,000 feet, or the 800-ton blocks of Baalbek, hauled uphill for over a kilometer from their quarry. Conventional explanations often point to the use of wooden rollers and sledges. However, for objects of such immense weight, the friction generated would be enormous, requiring not only immense force, but also a continuously prepared, perfectly level path, and a constant supply of fresh rollers, which would be crushed under the weight. The sheer amount of resources, trees for rollers, labor for preparing the path, and an army of people for pulling would be astronomical, and again, the archaeological evidence for such large-scale operations remains frustratingly sparse. It prompts us to wonder, are we perhaps underestimating the logistical capabilities of ancient societies? Or are we simply missing a fundamental piece of the puzzle, a lost technology that simplified these seemingly impossible tasks? The tranquil landscape around these sites, silent witnesses to ancient endeavors, subtly encourages us to re-evaluate the conventional narratives and consider the profound implications of what we don't yet understand. As we conclude this initial exploration into the limitations of conventional wisdom, the pervasive question deepens. While these traditional theories offer some framework for understanding simpler constructions, they consistently fall short when confronted with the true scale, precision, and sophistication of the megalithic wonders across our world. The evidence, patiently observed and calmly considered, quietly suggests that the how remains a profound enigma, inviting us to look beyond the accepted narratives and open our minds to possibilities that truly challenge the known limits of ancient human capabilities. We allow these thoughts to gently settle as we prepare to continue dissecting the shortcomings of conventional explanations, moving closer to the heart of the mystery. We continue to reflect on the limitations of conventional wisdom, allowing these thoughts to gently settle as we prepare to further dissect the shortcomings of accepted explanations, moving ever closer to the quiet heart of the mystery. Having calmly examined the difficulties surrounding ramps, primitive tools, and sheer manpower, our contemplative journey now directs us towards even more specific inconsistencies that emerge when these traditional theories confront the tangible evidence of the megalithic world. It's an invitation to ponder, with an open and curious mind, what truly enabled these ancient wonders. Let us calmly consider the striking absence of archaeological evidence for the large-scale tools or techniques that would be absolutely essential if conventional theories were entirely accurate. If massive armies of workers were indeed using copper chisels to shape hard granite, we would expect to find countless worn-out tools, extensive quarry waste indicative of such labor, and clear tool marks consistent with pounding and grinding. Yet, in many of the most baffling sites, this evidence is conspicuously missing. For instance, the perfectly polished, optically flat surfaces of the Serapeum sarcophagi, or the precision cuts in the granite of the Giza casing stones, defy explanation by simple copper tools, which would leave behind rough, uneven marks, or simply be ineffective against such hard material. Where are the grinding beds that would have polished these surfaces to such exactitude, or the vast quantities of abrasive sands required? The archaeological record, while rich in other aspects, remains largely silent on the precise mechanisms that could have produced such refined work on a monumental scale using only known, primitive technologies. This quiet absence of evidence doesn't necessarily disprove all conventional theories, but it certainly casts a long, thoughtful shadow of doubt upon their ability to fully account for the extraordinary precision we have observed. Furthermore, we must gently probe the argument of human ingenuity and its limits when faced with the sheer scale and exacting precision observed across these megalithic sites. While human ingenuity is undoubtedly boundless and inspiring, there are physical laws and practical constraints that even the most determined human effort cannot overcome without the right technology. Imagine for a moment being tasked with replicating the polygonal walls of Sacsayhuaman. You have your team of thousands, ropes, and wooden levers. How would you precisely shape a 200-ton stone with a dozen unique angles, ensuring each facet perfectly marries with its neighbor, all while working with hard diorite? Then, how would you lift and maneuver that stone, without any damage, into its exact place? The fine tolerances, often less than a millimeter, required for the mortarless joins are not a matter of sheer force. They are a matter of absolute control, precise measurement, and an understanding of geometry that goes far beyond what simple ingenuity with crude tools can achieve. It's difficult to reconcile the image of thousands of people pulling on ropes, inherently introducing variability and imprecision, with the unwavering, almost machine-like accuracy we see in the interlocking stones. The idea that such perfection could be achieved through a laborious trial-and-error process with primitive means, across hundreds or thousands of massive blocks, strains the imagination and challenges our understanding of practical engineering limits. The quiet contemplation of this gap between supposed methods and observed results invites us to consider that something more, something profoundly different, was at play. And what of the logistical nightmare represented by the mere act of transporting these gargantuan stones, not just for miles, but sometimes uphill, over challenging terrain? Consider the largest red sandstone blocks at Puma Punku, weighing up to 130 tons, moved across the Andean plateau to an elevation of nearly 13,000 feet, or the 800-ton blocks of Baalbek, hauled uphill for over a kilometer from their quarry. Conventional explanations often point to the use of wooden rollers and sledges. However, for objects of such immense weight, the friction generated would be enormous, requiring not only immense force, but also a continuously prepared, perfectly level path, and a constant supply of fresh rollers, which would be crushed under the weight. The sheer amount of resources, trees for rollers, labor for preparing the path, and an army of people for pulling would be astronomical. And again, the archaeological evidence for such large-scale operations remains frustratingly sparse. It prompts us to wonder, are we perhaps underestimating the logistical capabilities of ancient societies? Or are we simply missing a fundamental piece of the puzzle, a lost technology that simplified these seemingly impossible tasks? The tranquil landscape around these sites, silent witnesses to ancient endeavors, subtly encourages us to re-evaluate the conventional narratives and consider the profound implications of what we don't yet understand. As we gently bring this segment to a close, it becomes clear that the conventional explanations, while offering some insights into simpler constructions, consistently fall short when confronted with the astonishing reality of the megalithic world, the sheer scale, the impossible precision, the advanced astronomical alignments, and the logistical nightmares presented by these ancient wonders cannot be fully reconciled with the picture of primitive human societies wielding only basic tools and brute force. Despite centuries of study and modern technological advancements, the how behind these structures remains a profound, echoing enigma. This leaves us at a fascinating crossroads. If human capabilities, as we currently understand them, within established historical timelines, are indeed insufficient to explain these incredible feats, then it compels us to gently, yet critically, consider other possibilities. What if the builders possessed knowledge, tools, or techniques that have been lost to the annals of time? What if their understanding of physics, acoustics, or even energy was far beyond our own, allowing them to manipulate stone with an ease we can only dream of? The persistent questions posed by these ancient sites serve as a quiet invitation, urging us to open our minds to a grander narrative, one that acknowledges the limitations of our current understanding and dares to speculate on a past far more advanced and perhaps more mysterious than we have ever allowed ourselves to truly imagine. Let this lingering sense of wonder gently envelop your thoughts as we prepare to venture into the heart of a truly radical idea, the possibility of a unified, possibly non-human, source of knowledge that influenced these extraordinary ancient builders across the globe. We have journeyed across continents and millennia, from the colossal 800-ton blocks of Baalbek, the 200-ton polygonal stones of Sacsayhuaman, and the multifaceted puzzles of Pumapunku, to the optically flat granite of the Serapeum and the razor-thin joins of Ollantaytambo. We have gazed upon the precise solar alignments of Stonehenge and Newgrange, the serpent shadow of Chichen Itza, and the ancient stellar charts of Göbekli Tepe. In each instance, the evidence whispers of something extraordinary, something beyond the known limits of their supposed eras. These aren't just isolated wonders. They are recurring patterns, a global signature etched in stone, defying the conventional narrative of fragmented, independent development. The explanations we often hear, rooted in primitive tools, immense human labor, and gradual technological advancement, consistently falter when confronted with this astonishing reality. The striking absence of archaeological evidence for the monumental ramps, the sophisticated tools, or the logistical infrastructure required to accomplish these feats remains a glaring omission. How could copper chisels achieve optical flatness on granite? How could thousands of people, relying on wooden rollers, move 800-ton blocks uphill for over a kilometer? How were precise astronomical alignments maintained across millennia without advanced surveying? These are not trivial questions. They are fundamental challenges that traditional theories struggle to answer, leaving a profound void in our understanding of the ancient world. If, then, Our current historical narratives and our understanding of ancient human capabilities are truly insufficient to explain these incredible accomplishments. What other possibilities remain? It is here, in this quiet space of unanswered questions, where the weight of evidence gently, yet powerfully, compels us to consider a central hypothesis: that these widespread megalithic marvels, with their shared characteristics of impossible weights, uncanny precision, and advanced astronomical alignments, suggest a common, highly advanced, and perhaps even non-human source of knowledge that influenced ancient builders worldwide. This unifying theory attempts to bring coherence to a seemingly disparate collection of global anomalies. Imagine a profound, unifying intelligence, a master blueprint or a source code of wisdom that transcended geographical and cultural boundaries. This knowledge might have been subtly imparted, discovered through extraordinary means, or even inherited from a forgotten epoch of advanced civilization, seeding sophisticated architectural, engineering, and astronomical wisdom across the entire planet. This hypothesis doesn't seek to diminish the incredible skill, ingenuity, and sheer determination of the ancient peoples themselves. Rather, it proposes that they were working with a body of knowledge, or perhaps even technologies and methods, that originated from an unexpected, extraordinarily advanced source that enabled them to manipulate the very fabric of the earth and align it with the heavens. The implications of such a theory are vast and deeply recontextualize our understanding of human history and our place within it. It challenges the linear progression of civilization we so often assume, hinting instead at a more complex, interwoven past. A past where profound knowledge might have been a shared global legacy, temporarily lost or perhaps guarded by select custodians. It opens the door to considering that humanity's journey through time may have been guided by insights or illuminated by wisdom far grander than our conventional textbooks allow. These silent, enduring stone testaments, scattered across our world, then become not just ancient ruins, but mysterious breadcrumbs, urging us to rediscover a truth about our origins and capabilities that remains shrouded in the mists of time. They invite us to a deeper contemplation, a quiet revaluation of everything we thought we knew about our ancient past. This revaluation begins by gently challenging our often linear perception of human history. For too long, we have mapped human progress as a steady, upward climb, from primitive beginnings to our current technological heights. But what if this narrative is incomplete? What if progress isn't always a singular, continuous ascent, but rather a series of profound awakenings, followed by periods of forgetting or even deliberate concealment? This hypothesis invites us to consider that the civilizations we often categorize as primitive might, in certain epochs, have been the inheritors of an even grander legacy, privy to insights that allowed them to achieve what we now struggle to comprehend. It suggests that perhaps the story of humanity is far more cyclical, far more complex, and far more deeply interwoven with a universal intelligence than our conventional textbooks currently allow us to believe. The very idea that such advanced knowledge could emanate from a source we currently define as non-human is not meant to alarm, but rather to expand the very boundaries of our understanding, to provoke a gentle redefinition of what intelligence itself can be, and where it might choose to manifest within the vast, silent reaches of the cosmos. This profound concept, in its quiet elegance, simultaneously demands a deep and respectful humility from modern science. For centuries, our intellectual frameworks have often been constrained by the belief that ancient peoples could only achieve what they're known. rudimentary tools and limited resources dictated. Yet, the persistent, undeniable questions posed by megalithic structures around the globe compel us to respectfully acknowledge the inherent limitations of our current scientific paradigms and historical interpretations. To truly begin to understand these enigmatic wonders, we may need to gently transcend our ingrained preconceptions, to willingly admit that there are significant, unexplained gaps in our knowledge, and that some of the most fundamental answers may, in fact, lie gracefully beyond our present grasp. It's an invitation to cultivate an exquisitely open mind, to embrace the comfortable, enriching uncertainty that invariably comes with confronting the truly unknown, and to recognize, with a sense of profound awe, that the universe and our collective past hold far more breathtaking secrets than we have yet allowed ourselves to uncover. This journey of intellectual humility is, in itself, a pathway to deeper wisdom and a more expansive perspective. Reflect for a moment, if you will, on the sheer, unfathomable vastness of what continues to remain unknown. These colossal stones, these architectural masterpieces, standing silently for thousands of years, are far more than mere relics of a forgotten past. They are, in essence, cosmic anchors, silently connecting us to a grander, more interwoven narrative, a universal story that whispers softly of ancient wisdom and perhaps of unseen, guiding forces. Could it be that the builders were not just constructing utilitarian monuments, but were, in fact, meticulously encoding messages, charting celestial maps, or even crafting intricate energy conduits, patiently waiting for a future time when humanity might finally be ready to fully comprehend their profound significance? This overarching hypothesis doesn't claim to provide all the definitive answers, but it graciously offers a profound, unifying lens through which to thoughtfully view these enduring enigmas. It suggests, with a gentle insistence, that the intrinsic beauty, the unwavering precision, and the cosmic alignment of these megaliths are not just isolated human achievements, but rather eloquent reflections of a deeper, more pervasive intelligence that has, at various times, subtly touched and shaped our world. As these thoughts gently drift and entwine within your consciousness, consider the comforting, almost poetic, notion that even amidst our modern complexities and incessant clamor, there exists a profound and tranquil peace in simply acknowledging the boundless mystery of existence. The quiet, contemplative awe inspired by these impossible, unreplicable constructions can serve not as a source of disquieting anxiety, but as a gentle, reassuring reminder of the myriad wonders that lie gracefully beyond our immediate, linear comprehension. It encourages us to find repose within the gentle embrace of the unknown, to discover solace in the calm contemplation of a history far grander, far more intricate, and immeasurably richer than the simplified versions we have often allowed ourselves to truly imagine. These ancient architects, perhaps guided by a globalized, non-human source, whisper across the ages, reminding us that the universe is eternally rich with profound secrets, gently inviting us to dream of lost sciences and forgotten truths. Let your mind gently open to these expansive possibilities, allowing them to softly settle like evening mist as you prepare for a tranquil and restorative rest. The profound questions stirred by these enigmatic megaliths are not designed to disturb your peace, but rather to deepen your innate sense of wonder, to gracefully broaden your perspective, and to gently guide you into a peaceful contemplation of a world far more magical, far more mysterious, and infinitely more profound than the one we usually perceive in our daily lives. In this quiet, sacred space, we recognize with a sense of reverent humility, that our current understanding is but a tiny, flickering ember in the grand, luminous, and eternal tapestry of time. As our extraordinary journey through the impossible megalithic constructions of our world gently comes to a close, we are left not with definitive answers, but with a profound and comforting sense of wonder. We have traversed from the immense, unmovable weights of Baalbek and Sacsayhuaman, and the multifaceted puzzles of Puma Punku, to the optically flat granite of the Serapeum, and the razor-thin joins of Ollantaytambo and Machu Picchu. We have gazed upon the heavens with ancient eyes, contemplating the precise solar alignments of Stonehenge and Newgrange, the serpent shadow of Chichen Itza, the calendrical stones of Carol, and the unfathomable antiquity of Göbekli Tepe. And through it all, we have calmly questioned the conventional wisdom, finding its explanations often insufficient to truly capture the majesty and mystery of these enduring stone giants. The evidence, meticulously presented and gently pondered, whispers of a common, sophisticated knowledge, a global blueprint that transcends the boundaries of known human history. Whether this wisdom was inherited from a forgotten epoch, discovered through lost sciences, or guided by a source we can only speculate upon, it compels us to embrace a more expansive view of our past and our place within the grand tapestry of existence. These megaliths are not just inert stone. They are silent teachers, humbly reminding us of the vastness of what remains unknown, inviting us to find peace in the depths of that mystery. They challenge our assumptions, not to create unease, but to open our minds to a universe far richer, far more intricate, and infinitely more magical than we often perceive. The quiet contemplation of these structures allows us to release the need for immediate answers and instead find solace in the enduring questions themselves. Tonight, as these profound thoughts softly settle within your mind, allow this journey of contemplation to gently guide you towards a state of deep, restorative peace. Feel the quiet awe of these ancient wonders wash over you, not as a source of anxiety, but as a calming reminder of the boundless secrets our world holds. This understanding, this quiet acceptance of the unknown, is a profound pathway to tranquility, a gentle current carrying you towards serene sleep. You have invested your time in understanding a deeper truth, and that dedication itself is a beautiful thing. If this journey has brought you a sense of peace, a gentle spark of curiosity, or a moment of calming reflection, we invite you to share your experience with our growing community. Consider leaving a soft like on this video, not for us, but because your simple gesture helps this message of wonder and calm reach other curious souls who might also be seeking a peaceful escape and a deeper connection to the ancient mysteries of our world. Your presence here, your contemplation, is a valuable part of this shared journey of discovery and relaxation, and your like helps spread that quiet peace. And if you feel this path of exploration resonates with your spirit, if you wish to continue receiving these soothing narratives that challenge the mind and calm the soul, we gently invite you to subscribe to our channel. It's not just a click, it's a quiet commitment to your own journey of well-being, an act of self-care, and a gentle invitation to join a community that values deep thought, shared wonder, and tranquil introspection. By subscribing, you ensure you don't miss our future explorations into the hidden corners of history and the cosmic mysteries that connect us all, allowing this channel to become a consistent source of calm and knowledge in your life. If you've stayed with us until this very moment, congratulations. You are among a truly special few who dedicate themselves to deep contemplation and the pursuit of profound understanding. Your patience and your open mind are testaments to a beautiful spirit, a readiness to look beyond the surface. As a quiet acknowledgement of your journey with us tonight, if you feel moved, consider leaving a comment below with the phrase, "Ancient whispers, guide my sleep." When we see this phrase, we'll know you've fully absorbed the deep, comforting mystery of our shared exploration and are ready for the peaceful rest that follows such contemplation. Your words inspire our entire community of quiet seekers. Now, as the echoes of these ancient stones fade into the night, I invite you to take a moment for yourself. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Allow the gentle melody that accompanies these final moments to wash over you, letting every thought, every lingering question softly drift away. Feel your body release any remaining tension, allowing a profound sense of calm to envelop you, guiding you deeper into relaxation. Let the wonders of the ancient world become a part of your tranquil dreams. As your mind finds rest in the beautiful uncertainty of history, this channel is your peaceful sanctuary, a space to explore, to learn, and to gently drift into a restorative state. We look forward to sharing more journeys of wonder and relaxation with you very soon. Until then, may your sleep be deep, your dreams be serene, and your spirit find peace in the silent majesty of a forgotten past.